Hey, Shoreline, it's good to be back with you here on a Wednesday and still working our way through Psalm 27, getting to the end here and using Tripp's book, Shelter in Time of the Storm. 27:11 says, "Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a path because of my enemies." And uh, Tripp's got a really nice little section on this on page 125 in the book. And so I'd encourage you to take a look at it, but really he asks the question as he starts, who's schooling you? And just, even just thinking about the timeliness of that question, from what's come about this week, even from our own state government, with the fact that schools are now not going to meet for the remainder of the 2020 school year this spring, and just all the questions that go along with how we do school now and what's going on at home with online learning. All those things I think are really timely as it relates to Psalm 27:11, and the real question about who is schooling us. And so he kind of walks us through a little bit of what that really means. He uses the term the university of the Lord, which I think is slightly hokey, but it works in terms of just thinking about how God teaches us. In fact, he quotes Calvin from the Institutes, where the quote is that there's no better place to go to school. There's no knowing, that is, there's no knowing that does not begin with knowing God. And so when you think about that, what it really truly means to attain and amass knowledge, beginning there with knowing the Lord and being a student of the Lord through His Word, I think is the best place to start. So he goes through 5 characteristics that I thought were helpful, just as we relate what it means to start knowing the Lord, and as we see that we are so prone to be wise in our own eyes. In fact, he says wisdom, it comes by revelation and relationship. And so really it's a received thing, first of all, as it comes from the Lord. The second one he has is a humble sense of need. And that's good, because I think dependence is really what is the real barometer as it relates to our spiritual life. And so if we're going to learn anything, it's got to start with just a sense of humble dependence. The third one that he opens up to is a willing and open heart. And I think, part of this one is really about teachability. And of course, any student's going to have to be at some level be teachable, but being teachable is one of those characteristics in life that goes well beyond the classroom into pretty much everyday life. And some of the easiest people that we can ever be around and be able to impart knowledge to are those who are teachable. And if you think about it from a spiritual standpoint, being teachable, being flexible, being a learner is one of the most important characteristics that we can have. Then he uses 3 little characteristics: discernment, focus, and determination, as just he keeps the 3 together, which I think is helpful. Determination being the one that kind of stuck out to me. It's just having a kind of spiritual grit where you have to continually put one foot in front of the other each and every day as it relates to a commitment to spiritual growth and learning. Because the feeling of wanting to do some of these things at times may not be there, but the discipline of just setting your course and moving forward, even if it's just a choice that you have to make in whatever it might be, reading, praying, that's so important. And then the last one he has here is commitment to act on what you're learning. And of course, that seems fairly obvious, but it really takes us out of the realm, I think, of what we're learning in terms of just information. And it's not just biblical information that we're learning, it's actually something we're supposed to be applying and doing. And, if you think about anything that you've really learned as a lifelong skill, it was something that you had to first put into practice. Maybe somebody taught you something, showed you how to do something, but then once you started doing it, that's when you really learned how to do it. You learn how to do by doing. And so, the same thing is true, I think, in spiritual life lessons. And so if you think about it, just today, what it means to really go to the school of the Lord and get a try. Now, I've been trying to do this with scripture memorization. I think it laxed in the last week. So I'm going to take a little bit of time today and not do that, but I'm going to keep the practice up, and maybe next week give it a shot here on our little YouTube socials, and I think we're going to try this on Facebook Live too. So it's good to be with you, Shoreline, and we love you, and hopefully we will be seeing you soon. Have a great day.